Newsbrief. Square Enix has trademarked the name of Octopath Traveler, that's IA2D, graphical style in Europe, as reported by Gamasutra. The Japanese developer-publisher has trademarked the terms IA2D and IA2D. The company has used both to describe the Switch RPG's unique art style, which combines 16-bit character sprites and textures with polygonal 3D environments and high-definition effects. It's an interesting move, and one that suggests Square has plans to use the phrase "game in the future" to describe another Octopath title, or perhaps even a new franchise that employs the same graphical style. Former Mugen Systems developers say their sudden firings were the result of retaliation over ongoing labor disputes. But the company says that's not the case. Speaking to Variety, the Mugen Systems representative says that the 6 developers in question were fired late last year because they used a professional tool for an inappropriate purpose, in a way that the company says goes against its values and corporate culture. All 6 workers fired in late December were told that the dismissal was due to, according to the Video Game Workers Union of France, staff having negatively affected the mood of the studio and using insulting language in a conversation that took place in a private channel. While Mugen's given reason for the firing lines up between that original statement and this most recent details, the staff previously argued that the move was in retaliation for strike participation, as all 6 fired developers were involved with a 2-month-long strike over the pay dispute at the beginning of 2018. However, Mugen maintains that the 2 issues are unrelated, telling Variety, "We have fully respected our employees' right to strike, and our team still comprises those who were on strike, including one employee who has since been promoted to a managerial position. Our team currently counts 26 employees, and will continue growing in the coming weeks." Nearly half of the studio staff at the time, roughly 21 developers, went on strike in mid-February to protest a long trend of unfair pay practices at the company, including lack of overtime compensation, disregard for minimum wage laws, and paying employees less than the wages outlined in their contracts. The strike itself lasted 2 months and ended when management refused to budge. Though the 15 Mugen Systems employees are now working with the staff to bring their grievances before a French labor tribunal this year. In the wake of the blister between online platform provider Improbable and engine maker Unity, another party has entered the fray. Epic Games, purveyor of Unreal Engine and the biggest competitor to Unity, said Thursday night that it has partnered with Improbable to establish a $25 million fund to assist developers who are left in limbo by the new engine and service incompatibilities that were introduced today. In essence, that means Epic is offering to help pay for game developers to move away from its competitor Unity, a calculated move that seeks to capitalize on Unity's public relations and derivations blunder. Epic said the fund is to help developers transition to more open engines, services, and ecosystems. This funding will come from a variety of sources including Unreal Dev grants, Improbable developer assistance funds, and Epic Games Store funding. Thursday morning, Improbable stated that Unity-based projects that use its multiplayer online platforms Patalos work in breach of Unity's freshly updated licensing terms. Unity has clarified to us that this change effectively makes it a breach of terms to operate or create Patalos games using Unity, including in development and production games, Improbable said today, hours after Improbable's statement. Unity responded by saying improbable statement was misleading, stating that even though Unity is terminating its relationship with improbable and Spatelos, game developers who are currently developing Spatelos games with Unity would not be affected. Projects that are currently in production, are live using Spatelos, are not affected by any actions we have taken with improbable. Unity said. Escape from Tarkov developer Battlestate Games has issued 47 DMCA claims against YouTuber Erratic over spreading incorrect information and expressing overall negativity about their game. This is not the first time DMCA notices have been used as a way for developers to remove content that express a particular view. With FIRAWATSHDEVELOPACAMPO Santo issuing a takedown last year, albeit under different circumstances. This is pretty notable, as it seems most DMCA notices usually revolve around piracy, copyright, or unfair use of content for monetization, not over false information. As reported by Polygon, Battlestate Games claims they had no other choice but to file a takedown against Erratic for reportedly uploading inaccurate video, claiming that user information, including passwords and personal information, had been leaked from the company databases. The studio claimed the misinformation was damaging to the company. The reason why we acted so strong and so quick is that we had to stop this misinformation about the data leak. A representative of Battlestate's public relations team told Polygon the videos are no longer available on YouTube, following the claims. Andrew Opticus since stated explaining that at least 47 of his videos have DMCA claims against them. Battlestate claims they were justified in filing all these claims because of negative hype being expressed in the videos. However, it's worth noting that BATTLASTATEKNEW only 2 of Erratic's videos contained rumors of a security breach. The other 40+ videos it filed DMCA claims against were pulled because of their tone. We had to use this tool in order to stop the wave of misinformation. Going forward, rather than issuing DMCA claims in the future, the Battlestate representative said they will employ more traditional lawsuits for things like defamation instead. It's not about making content, they continued. It's about false accusations. It's about lies. It's about misinformation. We do not want to scare off anybody. It was applied to only this person, and only in this case. Each of Sega's Yakuza games contains modded use. For example, Yakuza 0, the series prequel released outside of Japan early last year, sets itself up as a playable crime serial set in ATS Japan. But it can also be a cabaret management game, a blind date sim, a 3D beat 'em up, an emulator of old Sega arcade classics, a rhythm game, a light-hearted RPG about solving strangers' problems, a real estate management game, and a surprisingly good place to learn the basics of tabletop games, like shogi and mahjong. From a developer's perspective, the scope of such a project is daunting. From a player's perspective, it can be overwhelming. My partner and I recently completed Yakuza 0, and saw that our 87 hours of combined play merited a completion score of roughly 33%. The hook that holds together all these disparate game design elements that put us on the spot of Western players like us through the game is the writing. For all its focus on cold-hearted criminals and petty evil, Yakuza 0 is a remarkably funny game. It affords players the freedom to quickly jump from incredibly serious macabre scenes, a criminalist tortured in a warehouse, to teach a shy punk band to act like good dudes in public. That writing is translated and localized farther west by Atlas, alongside longtime series translator Inbound, starting with Yakuza 0, and continuing on through Yakuza Kiwami, the remake of the original 2005 game, and Yakuza 6. The localization of all three games has been overseen by Atlas, Scott Strickhardt, who recently sat down to chat about the ins and outs of adapting this game's humor and gravity for Western players.